Okay, I think I think that we're streaming now. So it looks to be kind of slow, which is kind of weird. Let's okay, so I think we'll sit here for a second, see if you guys are popping up here. Let me go check some other stuff over here just to make sure. So you guys definitely can see the screen change, which is good. But it looks to me like you're a little bit behind. Okay, so we were on here before, and we went through all the good stuff, and then all of a sudden people are like, we can't see it. All we can see is your ugly face. And they said it. They called it an ugly face, and it hurt. But it's okay. It's not the first time I've been called names. So I kind of brushed it off. And they were like, we were just kidding anyways. And I was like, okay, well, good. So then we got to the business of trying to set this thing up. Yo. Okay, so I am going to grab this while we're sitting here and waiting for people to kind of join in. Let's pop on over to our Get Going Fast page. You're going to have to actually look at my ugly mug here for a bit. While I set this up, again, we're kind of waiting for people to pop back in again. Let's go one more time. Man, I tell you what, everyone's going to be so upset at me. I'm going to be like the third video where I'm saying, hey, come check this out. Let's see if this works. I guess you guys could watch behind the scene here. We go over to our Get Going Fast page, and let's pop that in there and see if this brings it up. Okay, that didn't. So let's delete this. I guess it's always a learning lesson here. It does bother me that we're so far behind. I can watch myself speaking to you guys, and it's coming out a few seconds behind. I don't know if that's a bug or a feature. And if we go back a little bit here. Go back to our channel. You guys are getting to see behind the scene. This is kind of like getting to go into the meat factory and seeing how the meat's made. So, well, when you look at that, she didn't give us any of the old stuff. So this doesn't have, oh well, it is what it is. Let's just type here, we'll say new rope released. VisoMaster, which is not the greatest name, I'm not going to lie, but it works. And we'll go unboxing. So I think with this one we won't bother sending out messages to people. Because it'll be like the third one, they're going to be like, get over yourself, bud. Alright, so you guys are back. Can you guys see the screen now? Go ahead and type in the comment box if you can see what's going on here. Oh, look at that. It took that off as well. Damn it. Having all sorts of fun with this, aren't we? Okay, well, let's get our app back up. And let's see if we can get you over to seeing that. Okay. Can you guys see that? Is that showing up there, Jams? Alright, so, okay, what we're going to need to do here, let's just start completely over. Let's see if we can get this browser window up here for you. And we'll just go ahead and maximize that so you can see it. Okay, So, okay, so starting all over here, let's go over to where this starts out. So we've got over here, this is the new VisoMaster page here. So we got VisoMaster is the new name. This is Rope Live. This is from Alucard and Aregnspin. All hail to the kings of face swapping. Now, I talked with Alucard today, or Aregnspin today, and they had said that I wanted to confirm. I was like, hey, is this actually legitimate your stuff, or is it like someone came in and took your code and just repackaged it? And he said, no, this is the new Rope Live. So essentially what happens, you have a guy named Hilobar, and he was the first one that actually started this this whole wonderful rope thing. And then Aregnspin and Alucard, they came along and were helping. Well, I'm using my other camera here, so the lighting is all goofy, but whatever. So anyway, these guys came along, started helping, and now Hilobar, he don't want nothing to do with it anymore. He's tired of the fame. He's tired of the women and the fast cars and all the fast living that face swap life has. You know, get that big tat that says face swap life right there. He's tired of it. So he's letting Aregnspin and Alucard take over for him, and so what they've done is they've created VisoMaster. Okay. Again, not the name I would have chosen, but I have a feeling that some of this stuff, we know that rope went down, okay? So rope is pretty close to rope, so I assume what they're probably doing is giving it more of a legitimate name, so that then when all these woke skulls who want to take down everything and regulate everything into the ground come along, it looks a bit more innocuous. So that's my guess. At any rate, great stuff, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to scroll through here. Now, I am not going to show you how to install this thing, but we will take a quick look at it. One of the things I want you to notice here is your requirements down here. You've got requirements for CUDA 1.18 and requirements for CUDA 1.2.4. So that's 12.4 and 11.8. So this is going to work with both. I heard somebody spouting wrong nonsense over on the Reddit saying that it only works with CUDA 12. Not so. Works with 11.8, and they have put that up there for you. Now, I do want to say that Aregnspin said that this is a work in progress, so there are still bugs in this. They've been working for 4 months on this to get this out for us. And so there's still bugs. It's going to grow. If you remember, the first rope came out, I told you, I said, this is going to grow and it's going to get bigger and better and better. And it did. It just kept going, boom, boom, boom. This is going to be the same thing. So you're going to see that our settings are kind of like, they're okay. But the speed is going to be faster. Everything can be greater. And over the next couple months, you're just going to see this go boop, 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 bop, 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 kind of like tribbles, right? Tribbles of greatness. So they have an automatic installation here that you're going to be able to get. You do need to notice it's for NVIDIA GPU. So if you got an AMD, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. The original rope by Hilobar does work with an AMD, as well as the original Roop works with AMD as well. And I do have those over on the getgoingfast.pro page if you want to get going with those. Roop has been taken down, so you cannot get Roop anymore from GitHub, but I have uploaded it over here to codebird.org. I think you can find it by doing a search here. Yeah, here it is. So I've renamed it to Roop Floyd. It's over here on a Coggy build. So if you run in an AMD, run your Roop Floyd, and it works good. However, for the sake of what we're doing here, we need an NVIDIA GPU. Now, so as I said, they've got an automatic installation. So this is just like the portable version that we had before. So I have not tried this. I'm assuming it works. I'm not a big fan of portable installations, okay? The problem with them is that they package everything, So they package the CUDA, they package the Python, the Conda, they package everything, and it ends up, my experience is it ends up conflicting with stuff. Every time someone comes over to the Discord, they're wanting help, they're like, not every time, but I got a lot of people, they come over and they say, well, I tried this in Pinocchio, and alarms go off, and I go, beep, beep. The problem is you installed Pinocchio, and it messed up stuff. Now, I've never had a problem with the portable installation of Rope before. So the probably obviously do it in a, I would guess, in a bit more responsible way than Pinocchio, which do not use Pinocchio, okay? It's just, if you're part of the get going fast crowd, then what we really are pushing is getting your system set up correctly so that then everything works smoothly, okay? So it's like eating cheeseburgers all day. Yeah, it'll get you going down the road, but then you're going to hit a place where you're just like, bleh, and then all of a sudden you can't do the things you want to do. So rather better to build things up bit by bit, okay, and get your system correct so that you're not banging your head against the wall. And we have all the tutorials on the YouTube that will show you how to do that. You can go over to the getgoingfast.pro page and get the system checker, and after you've done all that other stuff, you're welcome to come and we're happy to help you try to figure out your stuff as well. But anyway, soapbox over. Okay, so you can do that. Now I tend to play around with the manual installations. This is what I like. Again, notice it's NVIDIA. We're not going to go through this, but we're not going to do it, but we're going to take a quick look just so you know what you're working with. It's typical. You need your Git, you need your mini conda, you're going to need your Python, and you need your CUDA drivers, okay? So we usually install CUDA 11.8 because it just works good with stuff, but you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm starting to look at CUDA 12 because things are starting to move in that direction, but just know that most of the stuff on Get Going Fast is for 11.8. Anyway, so you can see it, they have you git clone the repository. Now, down here, I want you to notice they're using a Conda environment, okay? So, Conda, the reason that they're using this over a Python virtual environment, I'm guessing, is because right here, they're hard coding you into Python 3.10.13. So that probably means that that is the Python that they used for developing this, and they want to make sure that you have it. So, the thing about Conda is you can force a Python version. When you're using the pip, you know, not the pip, the Python-mvenv, you know, your Vim folders, it uses whatever Python you have installed. So if you got Python 3.11 on there, it's going to create a virtual environment in 3.11. Can't change it. With Mini Conda, you can actually use different Python versions. So that's one of the excellent things about Conda. Although I personally prefer Python virtual environments because they're just a little easier, a little cleaner. But for something like this, you need it. Okay, so now down here I want you to notice this. We're going to be installing the CUDA and the CUDA Deep Neural Network, So notice here, their out-of-the-box directions are for 12.4.1. You're going to, if you're running your CUDA, you're going to need your 11.8, you're going to need to change this to 11.8. But here's the thing, don't just change the numbers here because it's not going to work. So the best thing you can do up here, you can see I've already got it, is just do your normal conda install -c NVIDIA CUDA toolkit equals 11.8. That will get the CUDA toolkit you need. Then you can go ahead and install your, do this, well, I guess, yeah, pip install CUDA runtime. And then you go down here and install your CUDA Deep Neural Network. If you don't do this, it will not work, okay? You'll get errors that say that your CUDA isn't installed correctly. And at that point, if something like that happens, just delete your whole environment and start over. I had to do that, okay? Now, notice down here, we get to a pip install, and it's asked for to use this file called requirements. Yeah, I got requirements. Requirements underscore CUDA124. Now, again, if you're running 11.8, check it out. Sup, they've got 118, so you would change that out for that one. Okay, so that's just kind of the main thing here. And I do want to point this out again. All hail to the Chiefs, Aregnspin and Alucard, Namaskaram. Thank you so much for doing this. They have created a folder, a file called Download Models. So it is going to download all the files for you. If you remember in the old one, you go over and there was like 20 files and you had to do them all by hand. Pain in the butt. So they do that for you. Now, here's the last interesting thing. They have this downloading all the files from this page. If you click on it, you're going to notice all it is ffmpeg.exe. Now, if you've been following along and you got your system set up, you know you've already got ffmpeg in there. So it's kind of interesting that they put that in there. I'm going to put it there anyways because I'm going to assume the code is going to be looking for it there. I'm going to guess the reason that they did that is just to kind of help people who might not have it installed. okay, because it is definitely going to require it. And it's a little bit more of a setup. You know, it's not a big deal. You just got to extract it, but then you go into your environmental variables. Maybe, I don't know why they did it, but they did it. So, not a big deal. That is part of the installation, and then you going to run it. So, that's kind of what's going on with this VisoMaster. Let's go ahead and run it. So, as I mentioned sort of before, this isn't actually the total unboxing. Like, I opened it up. I'm so sorry. I opened it up. But I just took a look at it to make sure it worked, and then we put it back in the box. Okay? So, it's kind of like a second unboxing. Like, more of a complete unboxing. So, let's pop it over here to File Explorer. Now, you can see I've got some stuff cleared up in here already. So, let's go ahead and reset this. I'm actually not sure how to reset. Maybe I can unclick it. Well, guess not. And there is no refresh. Anyways, okay, so whatever. Doesn't matter. We'll just start here. Now, let me make sure you can see the screen. If you have any questions, by the way, hit me up here in the chat. So I can't see the chat all the time. So I got to kind of pop in every once in a while. Let me know if you need to see anything here, and we will. I will try my very best to answer them. Okay. Now we're not going to go over every single. We're not going to go over every single thing, but we will. Look at a few. So, first thing you're going to notice, let's pause this so she's not moving, is this has completely changed. In the old rope, you had your input faces here, and then I think you had your, your targets and your inputs were over here, okay? So they've put these on top of each other. I can actually click these. So you have to actually select them. I think when you first load it up, it will actually give you an option to click it, but once you've chosen the first time, you have to go over to your file. This is all new. Okay, file edit and view. You got to click your file, and you're going to go to your load target folder. Okay, so you're going to click that, choose the folder that you want, and then she's going to pop up. Okay, and same thing down here with your input faces. You'll have to go up to your file, go load your sources image folder, and you'll choose the one with the faces. Now, I do want to show you over here something I discovered. In the old one, we had the output folder was over here, okay, and we clicked it. You had like a refresh button. They have buried this. I don't think this is a great idea, but whatever. Over here under settings, they have put the output directory over here. So you've got to go to settings, browse folder, find your output folder, and set it. Whatever. That's all their choice. I like stuff that's a little bit easier. I think you could get lost looking around under the settings, but whatever, is what it is. I'm happy to have the software. I do want to point out something that I forgot to mention. I do want to mention something that is that when you load this up the first time, a screen will pop up that says the models are loading. And then it says, like, don't freak out if it looks like it's stuck, because the models take a while to load. Now, the first time I sat there and I said, okay, I'm not going to freak out, and it just kind of sat there like a stone, okay? Kind of sat there like a day-old lasagna on your stomach, just kind of, bleh. And after a while, I did look over to my command line window, and I saw that there was an error, okay? So be checking your command line, you want to keep your eye on this kind of stuff, see what's going on. However, once I got it fixed and I loaded up, I got that same box there that says, don't panic, but it was kind of flickering as models were going, so I could actually see something was happening. Okay, so just FYI, keep your eye on that. Okay, let's really quickly pop over here. Someone wrote a message. Thomas Jensen says, can you see this as deep fake? Okay, I can't see this as deep fake because I don't think the quality is quite there for deepfake. I think you could certainly, it's certainly fake. Everything we're doing here is fake stuff. As for deepfake, you know, I think deepfake, I think stuff is very difficult to tell the difference of. And I think if you did a forensic look at this kind of stuff, you know, it's not going to be perfect. Plus, with the face swapping stuff, once heads go to the side, it starts to mess up. If you really want to look into deepfake stuff, you need to be looking at LoRa's and actually creating that kind of stuff. But this is very good. Okay, this is excellent face swapping. So we will avoid the term deepfake, and we'll look at the term face swapping. All right, so we have our images loaded up. So let's just go ahead and do a basic one here. Oh, I do want to show you some of these settings really quick. Notice up here, it's kind of, they have this button here that says include images. If I click that out, it's going to get rid of all the images and it just show the videos. That's really nice. That's a really great setting. Same thing here. I can get rid of the videos, just show the images. In the old one over here, we had a little thing here that you actually had to click over to images and it changed out the screen. It was kind of, it worked, but it was kind of a little hokey. So this is actually really nice. So you can kind of get what you want just by clicking these buttons here. I'm not going to press this button because it'll screw up the live stream, but this will include your webcam. So you can do your, you know, if you're working with Facebook Messenger, something like that, you set this up as your virtual camera, and you'll be able to, you know, do whatever you want with that. So let's go ahead and we've got this video, but let's do a single image first. So we're going to go ahead. Here's all these images. Let's go grab one of these. There was a pretty gal down here. Oh, she might have been a video. Let's grab this one. Okay. So now, as usual, we're just going to be able to click Find Faces, and it's going to find the faces in there. If you have multiple people, it will find multiple faces. Now, let's really quickly, let's check this one out with Pamela Anderson and a Ninja Turtle. I don't think it's going to find the turtle's face. Yeah, it's just going to find her face. Okay, but if you had multiple people in the image, which we will show, I'll show you a video here later that has that, it will find both faces. Here, okay, this one, you can see it found two different faces. So let's play with this one. This, by the way, I did with with Magic Quill. This is just an in-painting thing. I just tried to make it as radical as possible. You just painted over her her hat, and then I had it put on a scarf, and then I added some stuff there. I said add horns. You know, I painted over her shirt, and then said give her, you know, leather shirt, and it just did this. It's incredible. So, but anyway, let's look at the face swapping. So let's click this one over here. We click Find Faces. It pulls it all down. Now you always got to make sure that this button here, Swap Faces, is clicked. So now we can go over here, grab that. Oh, that was real fast. Look at how fast it put that in there. So put my friend's face right on top of that. Let's see if we go to this blue lady. Now we can click. Let's put my buddy John on there. Oh, that is ugly. Okay, so you can see you can do multiple things. This, by the way, is one of the great things about rope. Okay, or now it's VisoMaster. I'm going to call this rope because that's what it is. But it's, you know, VisoMaster. One of the great things about it is that you can do multiple people. You cannot do that with can't do it with face fusion or fart fusion, as I like to call it, because it doesn't have it. So this is the superior software. Face fusion, by the way, stole the well, that's steal. It's all open source, but they used it. They ganked it. So there's nothing unique there. This is the leading edge face swapping software. The other stuff is just taking what's already here and then just repackaging it for you. This is the best face swapping software that you can find, in my opinion. All right, Juan Pablo says, this channel deserves more support, and I agree. Yo, thank you, Juan. That is kind of you to say. Okay, well, let's go ahead. So we can see that we went ahead, we changed the face in here. Now, sometime I'm going to show you one over here. Let's get one that doesn't have a good quality. Let's grab my ugly mug here. Let's go Find Faces. Oh, look at that. It's actually cleaning it up. Okay, that's because we have the restorer on. I'm going to click over here. Now, this is how it would normally be. Okay, so garbage in, garbage out. If you got fuzzy going in, you're going to have fuzzy coming out. So if I click face over here and put her face on my face there, you can see it's still fuzzy because garbage in, garbage out. Okay, even if you used a high quality picture like this, and you put a higher quality, put that. See, it's still going to be fuzzy because the transfer one is fuzzy. So, in our old rope, what we would do is down here we would had, or actually I guess it was up top, the restore button. You click the restore, and it would clean it up. So they have buried it under here under common. So we're going to click common, and then over here you get this enable face restore. So then you click that, and look at it, cleans it up. And I am going to tell you that's fast. Okay, in the other software it would always take several seconds, and I'm running AI software behind here for this video. So that means it's doing this even with it running. So I will tell you that is a massive improvement. We're going to clap on that. So you can see the difference here. Click and enable face restore, right like that. Okay, and it's changing quite fast. God, it's so ugly. Ah! Okay, there we go. Hippie John there. All right, so you get to play around with this. Now, I do want to show you this one thing that's kind of cool. Notice over here on her face, she's smiling, but it matched, what it did is it matched the picture's lips. So she's got the pursed lips, right? But, you know, this gal over here, she has elbows. So they've added this as kind of interesting, this enable face expression restore. If you click on this, notice the lips start to open, okay? And so you can actually change this up, and it restores a bit of the mouth. So obviously it didn't get the full thing there, but again, you can play with that, okay? Retargeting eyes. Let's see what's going on with her eyes. So we've got this one retargeting eyes. Let's see what's going on with that. If we click her off, or her eyes are over there. So it's keeping, that's interesting, it's keeping the eyes of the picture underneath it. Let's try retargeting eyes. Oh, there you go. And so it's following that. So this is neat. The enable facial expression thing is, it's kind of neat. It basically pulls back to whoever's in the picture. So let's put, that looks like David Hobbs. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so, but then if we turn this off, I think the eyes will, you know, squint back over there again. And, so there you have it. Now, that's just your basic settings. I haven't drilled through all this other stuff. Looks like you got some auto swap, so maybe you don't have to click so many buttons. You can play with that. We're not going to really go into that. So you can see under common, they really don't have a lot of settings. They kind of, these are ugly settings. I'm not going to lie. This is not the best layout, but again, what you want is the functionality. Okay, and this stuff will come along with each different version. So anyway, let's go ahead and save it. So you can click here on, where is it? Down here, save image. Okay, so then that pops up a screen. You just save it, and there you go. So that's kind of normal stuff here. I wonder what this is, this lips makeup. Enable lips makeup. Let's play with this real quick before we change this. Let's click this. This is under Face Editor. Let's click Enable Face Pose Expression. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Sometimes, I'm not quite sure how to use this. We might have to come back to this. This is a setting we've used before where if you get it, oh, maybe we've got to do this, face adjustments. And as you can get it, you can open their eyes more, close their mouth more. Live Studio did that, but obviously this isn't working for this. So there's probably something more we need to do with that. But here we could do some settings here. Okay, this actually is really important. This what do we do? All right, this is actually really important. The similarity threshold. This is under the face swap thing. We'll go over here and do a video. That is one of our most important settings. So it's good to know where that is because if this is down, it won't recognize the face. And if you got multiple people, it will grab. Let's grab this. Watch this. We'll go find faces. Oh, it's not finding. That's not finding multiple faces in there. Interesting. Might be because the image is too poor. So let's go over to our common. Let's turn off the restore and see if that helps. Okay, well, usually you would find multiple faces in here, and the other one you would find these, and they would all show up down here. Okay. However, then what you do is you go over to face swap, and you've got your similarity threshold. So depending on that, it might like put your face on. If the similarity is way high or is way low, it'll just say put the face on everybody. So what you do is then you tweak this up, and then it keys it more down to the person. But let's do a video here. Let's grab this gal. And if we press play, you can see her moving. Okay, let's rewind this. See the same thing. Let's click Find Faces. We'll click on her. Make sure Swap Face is set, and then we'll pick this gal. Okay, and there we go. That was actually really fast. And now it's changed it. So probably what we want to do is go over here to our common, enable the face restore. Okay, I'm going to shout out. That is so fast. That is really fast. Okay, that's really beautiful too. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of face restore because it really kind of usually makes things look poor. Good job on this. Okay. Yeah. God, that was gross. Okay. Just David Hobbs. Okay. Anyway, there we go. So let's try another one. Let's try this. This is Nordic Gal. Yes, my buddy says it would be called a bomb farter. So we'll click her, put their face on there. There you go. So that's really nice. Okay. Again, if you notice, if we undid the face restore, it's going to go blurry. So the face restore is really important when you're dealing with low quality stuff. But if you push that face restore up too high, you'll get cartoonish looking things. Which you don't want. Find faces. Let's click here. Okay, that's great. Look at her mouth moving. Let's see. Yeah, it all looks about the same. Now notice they've added this enable face restore too, so you can actually use two different ones on here. If you're having trouble with one, so here's the deal. Like some of these things, like this one does a very good job of this, but sometimes when the head is turned sideways, it won't get it, but some of these other ones might, okay? So you could use two restore types. Is basically what they're letting you do. They're saying, use this one, and then use this one, and you can find your combination. I don't know that I would ever use that because I'm not that deep into getting totally awesome stuff, but let's see here. I mean, for me, I'm a get going fast guy. I want it to work fast enough for what I want. Okay, so notice this, it's putting the through there. So let's go find the occluder. So in other words, the face under there is showing through the hat. So we need to go find occluder. And again, that's going to be an issue now because the settings are changed. Here we go, occlusion mask. Let's click that. Okay, notice it fixed it. Okay, so what occluder does is, let's say like I'm over here. Let's switch over to here real quick. And let's go to, let's say like, I'm drinking this can of excellent water. A lot of times what will happen is the face will pop through this, okay? And it'll be clean. So the occluder, what it does is it grabs objects in the front and fixes it up. So notice we turn this off, all of a sudden it's screwing up there. We turn the occlusion on, fixes it. Okay, kind of. Notice there it's kind of was getting wonky. So let's look at some settings there. Now if you press the mouse, you can see the original, and then you let it go, you'll see the new one. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll keep that on there so I can play with this. Let's turn this up. Okay, let's turn this down. So if you turn it down too much, you lose the face. So you would probably at this point play with this stuff, the face mask. Maybe we go top border. Anyway, that's how you'd play around with it. Okay, so anyway, whatever. I'm going to let you guys figure that out there. Pretty much everything is already here. I'm liking this so far. Again, the settings I'm not extremely happy about. Oh, let's do this real quick. Show you really quickly how the markers work. So let's say we find this face in here, and we're going to swap it here with this preview. Now, let's go ahead and turn off the face restore. Let's say for whatever reason, I've got some settings over here, but then down here, I want to go ahead and add the face restore. So I'm going to hit this marker, and it's going to put a line there. See that? And I can get back there by pressing that there. Now, if whatever settings I change, so I'll go back to my common, we'll do my face restore. When it gets here, it's going to change it. So I can go back here. Nope, no, it did it backwards. So let's try it like this. Let's go back to our common, undo this. I'm going to hit this minus thing to delete it. Okay, now it's fuzzy. I'm going to add the marker. Then I'm going to go ahead and enable the face restore. So now if we go back here, oh, so their markers aren't working. Okay, so the markers aren't working in this. I'll tell them that. Generally, how this would work is you have settings over here. You go, you change the settings, and then you create a marker. And then, as it's going through the video, the settings change dynamically. It's very powerful. That's how, like, often if I'm doing something and like there's a scene where the head keeps changing, I'll change it a little bit, I'll get it perfect, and then I'll set a marker. And then I'll change it, and then I got to change the settings again, and then I'll set a marker. And so as it's going through there, it's going through, it's going from setting to setting to setting. So you can get real powerful configurations when that works. But for whatever reason, it's not working right now. Okay, see, this should be. Oh, no, there it works. So it just took some time. Okay. Well, I'm glad that started working. So there's still some settings issues here that are taking their time to go in. So notice it starts fuzzy. It's going to hit the marker. Then it goes clear. And then the settings change. We'll do it one more time, and you'll watch the settings over here change. So it's off. It's on. It's off. That's so weird that it wasn't doing it. It wasn't working, then it started working. That's like when you go to the mechanic and you're like, my car's making a noise, and then as soon as you get there, the car ain't making a noise. So these are powerful, and you can do as many of these as you want. To get back to delete them, you just use the arrows. It takes you to the previous, and you can hit delete, and it will undo it. And then I'm not sure what these embeddings are, so I'm going to have to look into embeddings. I'm not quite sure what they are. Last thing is, if you want more space, you can unclick all this stuff to get your things. So they've added that. That's new. They got a view full screen, so you can save your workplace. So now, say you've been working on this. This is actually real powerful. I did not have this before, so you can save where you're at, and then you can load it back up. So that is really great. And I'm not sure what embeddings are. So again, we're just going to have to. If you guys can figure that out, that would be great. Jam's saying you need a marker at frame 1. Okay, so Thomas is asking how to do this for deepfake live call. I'm not going to turn on the webcam because I'm already using it, but this screen up here, you press this button here, and it will pop up your webcam. You just click it, and it will, and then same thing, find faces. You'll see yourself moving. You'll click find faces. You'll choose yourself, and then the face you want to swap with. I think let's see. I think we had some other movies. I want to do one last thing before we go. I'm going to go up here to File. I'm going to go Load Target Folder, and I'm going to change this to this folder here. Okay, now I'm going to grab this movie here. So this is an older movie. This is a a Jack and the Beanstalk one. And the reason I chose this is because it's in the public domain. So if you're doing live stream, if you're doing these things and you want to put them on YouTube, if you use new movies, stuff like that, it will flag it as a copyright thing. Now, don't worry, they won't hit you for a point against you. It just says you can't monetize it. Now, when you're first starting, if you're going to be starting up stuff that you actually want to get monetized, before you're monetized, it doesn't matter because you're just concerned about views and you're just concerned about getting content up there. So it's not a big deal. Once you get monetized, you want to use stuff that's from the public domain. So, like, I chose this because this whole thing would get flagged as not monetized if I use something else. So here's an old one here. We can click Find Faces. Now, I'm not sure why it's not finding her face, multiple people's faces. It's kind of bugging me a little bit. So that might be something wrong. See, it should be finding her face. Let's turn off the occluder mask. Maybe sometimes that can, yeah. So again, as I mentioned, they said it's a work in progress. Let's clear all the faces. Let's see if we can find her face. Okay. We go over here, set our restore. So that's nice. Oh, notice here, this is a great example. Okay. Notice here it's putting it on, even though I chose her face, it's putting it on her face. Okay, this is where your similarity threshold comes in. So now if I pop that up, it's not going to choose him. So now I could probably go find face, and I can put my face on there. Alright, so now if we go back to the scene with the princess, now it'll do two different faces. Notice there it's still not grabbing hers. This is typically where you click Find Face. Okay, I think the reason it wasn't grabbing multiple faces before is because the similarity threshold was too low. So let's click her and then put this gal's face on there again. So we got her from different angles. Oh, notice it didn't grab the face there. Same thing, so we click there, put my face on there. Videos can be tricky to play with. Notice again it didn't get there, so sometimes you got to go through here and put multiple ones on there, especially with low quality stuff. That's not so bad. If I put that occluder mask, it might fix the hair. Yeah, there you go. Fix that hair thing. Yeah, kind of. So here's where markers would actually be really good. If it was really important for you to get this scene, what you would do is get to a point where it's causing an issue, like there. Let's scroll back. And you might set a marker, and then you would fix it. And then you would let it go. And then you could see, like, that's all weird there. Again, the occluder's all messed up. So you might change some stuff and then you set a marker. So you could go frame by frame, fixing each frame. And I've done that before. So it just depends on how important the project is for you. Okay, I feel like I'm blabbering at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this to an end. Let me check, see if there's any other questions, you guys. Yeah, Jem says there's a setting for multiple faces. I'm not seeing an actual setting. Let's go look under here. Face detect models, so you can do all your YOLO and your whatnot. I just kind of stick that there. So you can play with this all. Notice it didn't find her face again. And that's just because this is low quality. Now, the old version had a setting to actually upgrade the entire screen, so not just the face, and I do not see where that went, so we'll have to do another one later. Again, this is just kind of my first thoughts of this. Obviously, we're going to get better at this. I would say at this point, this is fun. It's good. If I really want to be doing something important, I probably will use this to try with it, but I'm going to go back to my rope live at this point because I know it, right? So if I really just got to get it done. The biggest issue with this just being that we don't know where all the settings are. And there are still some issues with it. Now, that was a crap quality thing. I wonder, let's see really quickly if I actually load a full movie, how long it would take to do that. The speed on this has been impressive. Let's do this one, I guess. Oh, no, it's not letting me grab that. Oh, here we go. Okay, whoa, shoot. That was not quite the scene I was expecting to see. Okay, I didn't even know that was in. I'm going to have to go back and watch this again evidently. So, let's see here. Find faces. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't look good bald, that's for sure. That could be, that looks weird. Let's go over here. Oh, there, that looks nice. Let's see what happens if I turn off the restore. Looks pretty much the same. That one came out fuzzy. Huh. Now, I do notice they don't have an audio thing, which is probably fine. The last one there was an audio button, but it never matched up, so I'm going to assume that maybe they got rid of it. Yeah, I don't see anything. Media selection, face recognition, webcam settings, landmarks. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here. So I would say the settings are unimpressive. The speed is highly impressive. I mean, that's really fast. The other ones, it took a long time. So I think this is worth playing with, definitely. And like I said, it's just going to get better and better and better. Alright, anyway, we're going to end it there. Do you guys got any questions before we go? I'll sit here and wait for just a moment. We'll, this is Dune Prophecy, by the way. Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, I'm going to count to 10 in my head. 9, 8. Well, I guess I said in my head. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so there we go. We're going to go ahead and end that up. So this is VisoMaster, the new rope next. Good stuff. Thanks for joining. Thanks for, honestly, thanks for putting up with me. What a pain in the butt this was. I think this was our third one going on here. Appreciate you sitting with me as I blather through all of this. You guys are great. Come over to the Discord, hang out, and share what's going on over there. I'd love to see the safer work stuff that you're doing over there. I think this is worth your time. Definitely going to be where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and put some quick installers up on the getgoingfast.pro page. So if you're a member, you can go over there and just grab it and get gold bars, because that's what we do. All right. Peace to you all. And I guess, I don't know what, be good to each other. Bill and Ted said be excellent to each other. All right. We'll catch you later, and